Hello and welcome to Starting Points, where one thing leads to another. It's strange how all these things happen like that. It's Captain Kidd's cat. It's a story that's told by McDermott, the cat. An idea that Robert Lawson had, and he used it in several other books. It's a very, I think, novel and way to tell us novel. And Captain Kidd was a real person. This book has a map in it, front and back, and it appears as though something's been spilled on this page. But Captain Kidd lived in New England area, New York, Hudson River, Connecticut, and he would go sailing the Azores and down and around and over to Madagascar and sail all about in there. Maybe being a pirate, a buccaneer, and then come back, sail around, maybe come to the Spanish Main, maybe be a pirate or a buccaneer, and head back. And people thought he must have a treasure, a pile of gold and stuff. And they've looked for it. But this story is a great way to look at history. Now, this person is looking at it from the point of view of where is the treasure. Peter Lorre, the lost treasure of Captain Kidd. The thought is it's somewhere up the Hudson River, maybe in some of the islands. Other people have dug for it in islands off the coast of Nova Scotia. All along, I suspect people have thoughts that, I bet it's buried here on this island. I recommend the book, and I think you'd find it a fascinating little side branch. Now, I mentioned it was a literary device that he came up with. Ben and me. The me is Amos, a mouse, who could travel under Ben's wig or in his that sort of hat that he would wear, and where whatever was going on, it would be Amos that would be reporting on it. Pretty nice idea, pretty nice story. That's for 10-year-olds, I think they would, some of them, if they're at all interested in history, might find it interesting. Mr. Revere and I, this is told by a mare, his horse, that he rode in the famous ride that he did. Her name was Scheherazade, which is a good name for a storyteller, and she tells a good story. Same story here, different covers, but a great idea. Here's a book by a man that told the story about Henry Hudson's, the mutiny on Henry Hudson's last voyage, R.S. Lambert. Here, he's telling the story of Sir Howard Douglas, who served in the British during all those tumultuous times. And so especially of interest, I would think, for someone living in Maine, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, but somebody who enjoys reading about that particular period of time, has an interest in that time. It's mentioning the mutiny on the Bounty. Sort of an oldie but goodie. You can tell it's an oldie, 35 cents. And this was written by two people, James Hall and Charles Nordoff. And it purports to be an actual account of the mutiny and the aftermath. Well, the aftermath actually is in two other books. About half of the crew mutiny. They've been hanging around for 5 months in Tahiti while they're waiting for the breadfruit trees to grow the breadfruits so that they can take the breadfruits and bring them back to be planted in the islands in the Caribbean to feed slaves. That's trade. And they had just missed being able to harvest them. And so well, they sort of liked the life. They just had nothing to do. They just were lazing about. And so some of them took some of the breadfruit and went to Pitcairn's Island to start their own colony, small colony. And half of them went back to Tahiti, and the half of both the groups, and about 20 men, and 20 got divided up, some to Tahiti, some to Pitcairn Island. 20 of them were put into a longboat, given some nautical instruments and a few swords to protect themselves. And the mutineers had taken the guns and sent on their way, perhaps suspecting that they wouldn't survive, but they did. And their story is in this book by Nordoff and Hall called Men Against the Sea. And the three books make quite a read if you're interested in nautical things and that particular period of time. Well, thank you for joining me. Until next time, bye for now.